welcome back to another exciting episode of Spartan TV.
Gratitude is a hard word to define. Everyone has a different way of explaining it.
To me, gratitude means to return kindness to others.
Yes, I do think practicing gratitude is healthy because it's important for everybody to remember what they're grateful for.
Gratitude to me means knowing what you're thankful for.
But by the words of American psychologist Robert Emmons, gratitude is a two-step process. The first step of gratitude is realizing that the person has obtained a positive outcome. The second step is making sure the outcome came from an external source.
I give people Timbits.
And I give compliments.
I show gratitude by saying the kind things, what's on my mind, because most people hear the negative and not the positive. So if I have something good to say, I make sure I always say it.
I make hats for all the people that are very kind to me.
Well, I help people out with their homework and if they have any questions about it.
I help carpool this man if he ever needs any help, you know.
Give everybody the answers to the physics assignment.
Gratitude at its core is being appreciative for what you have. Gratitude can be displayed in many different ways. It can be as simple as thanking your coaches, making supper for your mother once a week, or making journals about gratitude, or passing out letters about gratitude for loved ones in your life.
Here you go, Madame Hart, for everything that you do.
Aww. Merci beaucoup.
You're welcome.
I practice it by saying thank you to others or writing letters to them, as well as doing things for them.
Just being kind and nice to others.
It is also shown that gratitude is linked to pro-social behavior, perfect for thriving communities and culture.
For telling us about the importance of gratitude. We loved hearing from some of our Spartans about what they're grateful for.
A great group of students here at the high school has actually grown this year. We have 11 international students who've come from all over the world to live here by the St. Croix River for either a semester or a whole year.
We talked to a few of our students about their experiences so far and some people who are in charge of this amazing program.
I'm here with Louisa, one of our exchange students at SSHS, and can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, my name is Louisa. I'm 17 and I'm from Northern Germany, Hamburg.
Okay, and how do you like SSHS so far?
I think it's a very good school. I like the school spirit. It's like a big family, and I like the schedule you have every day.
I'm here with Yannick, and can you tell us where you're from and why you decided to come here?
I'm from Germany, from Hamburg. It's a very big city in Germany, and I decided to come to Canada because I want to see a new culture, new people, learn about a new culture, and I also want to be better in English because it's a very important language, so yeah.
I am from Germany, and I came here because I wanted to experience life in a different country, and also because I wanted to improve my English skills, but that was more of a side effect, I'd say. So mainly I came here just to live another life and get to know what it looks like here.
Awesome. How are you finding it so far?
It's pretty nice. My neighborhood is very quiet, so it's very enjoyable to go out on a walk with my dog, for example, or just play with the neighbors' kids or something.
So how's your experience been so far?
It was very nice, but it was also very different because Hamburg is a very, very big city and St. Stephen is very, very small. So it's very different, but I like it also that you're very quiet and you have your lot of nature, because in Hamburg you have not a lot of nature and the people are very nice and friendly, so I like it.
Awesome. So how has the schoolwork been so far?
Oh, at the school it's for me very easy, especially in math, because I did the things in Germany for 2 years, so I know what I have to do. But I also like the school system more.
Have you participated in any clubs or sports so far?
Yeah, I joined the soccer team and the green group, so I like it.
What do you think so far of those? How has it been?
The soccer, I like it, and I like to play in a team. I'm not very good, but in Germany all people can play a little bit soccer, so I can also a little bit, but I like it to be in a group, play together and get a win. And also the green group is very interesting because it's a topic I don't do really often in Germany, and it's new for me, and I like it too.
So that's about like environmental
consciousness. Yeah, and we have a room here in school to prepare to be in there in the breaks, and yeah.
Right, awesome. But what do you like most about being an exchange student here?
Oh, it's you are new, but it's also a good and a bad thing because it's to be new. You can be experience new things, and you have also. Have an advantage because you can ask things that maybe are stupid because you are new. Right. It's normal. So, but yeah, it's also you have to learn things new. So also the language and how it worked today, and so yeah. But I like it.
All right. So I'm here with another one of our international students. Can you introduce yourself and where you came from?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jazz. I'm from Mexico City.
Why did you decide to come to Canada?
I want to improve my English and know about a different culture, so I want to come here.
What do you think specifically of St. Stephen so far? It must be funny being in a small town?
Yeah, I really like the small town because I feel safe, so I prefer to live in a small town and not in a city.
So what do you like the most about being an exchange student here? What's been your favorite part so far?
To all the people that now I know, it's a great experience. So I like the town, the activities that I can do, and the people.
Thank you so much for doing this interview, and I hope the rest of your time in Canada is awesome.
Thank you.
I am here with Peggy Peters, the homestay coordinator for Atlantic Education in St. Stephen and St. Andrews. So Peggy, could you tell us a little bit about what your role involves?
Basically my role at the beginning of the year, which I consider the beginning of the year is like June for us, because that's when we start contacting families to see if they would like to consider being a homestay family for the international students.
Right.
So you're basically going all year long because you're always looking for more families that want to participate. So that's the first thing we do. And then they fill out an application as well as a criminal records check and vulnerable sector check. And then once everything like that is good, we can make homestay visits, have a chat to the family, and try and make matches between the families and the students that are coming.
Okay, awesome. So what do you think is the biggest benefit for first the international students that come and stay here in town and go to St. Stephen High School or Sir James Dunn? And then also, what do you think is the biggest benefit for those schools?
I think it's great for these students to come to St. Stephen, St. Andrews, ASD South, where we have quite a few students. They get to see just how things are in Canada. A lot of people aren't used to these cold winters.
Right.
So that's a bit of a challenge for some of them. I know we took a bunch of the kids shopping on the weekend, and one of the big things that they were looking for were warm jackets, warm clothing, more hoodies, things like that. So it's just a really neat way for people to experience different cultures, and at the same time it makes lifelong friends sometimes, and vice versa. The same with our homestay families. Some of them get very close to the student that they've housed for whether it be 6 months or a full school year, and then they can go visit their country.
Okay, awesome. So for people listening that are thinking maybe I would be a homestay family, maybe I would want to host an international student, could you talk a bit about what that involves? What are the steps involved if they want to do that, and who they can contact?
Yeah, sure. No, reach out to me anytime. My phone number is 467-1877. You can call, you can text, whichever you feel like. My email address, I better spell it for you, it's PEGEJOE@gmail.com. So feel free to use that as well. So that's the first step. Reach out to me, we'll have a chat. Sometimes people think that they want to be a homestay family, then when they find out what's involved, they're thinking, okay, maybe not this term, but maybe next term works better for us, depending on what they have going on in their home life as well. So we start out with that. They do an application. We try to match them up and go from there. They have to provide their own bedroom for the student, their own bedroom, their dresser. We ask if there's Wi-Fi in the house. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have a computer or anything, because most of them have their own computers when they come.
Right.
But as long as they can provide, so, you know, 3 meals a day for them. Basically, you just take them into your house and you treat them like you would treat your own family. Yes. You family members, you ask that they participate by doing chores, you know, helping maybe with raking the leaves this time of year, doing the, shoveling off the snow, just anything that you would expect your own children to do. We ask that you include these international students in that type of manner.
Amazing to bring them into the family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do they receive like a type of a bursary like the homestay families?
There is a stipend that the homestay families do receive. So if anybody would like to learn more about that, we can discuss that when they call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate all your work with this.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So I'm here with Miss Amos, principal here at St. Stephen High School. And I'm wondering when the International Student Program started here at the school and how it's evolved over the years.
Right. I guess you're going to age me a little bit, Amelie, but I think that the first year that we hosted a set of international students was back in 2008. So I think we're roughly around year 13 of being part of this program. And right, there certainly have been lots of changes. And when I go back to when we went into lockdown the first time, obviously we had international students here with us when we closed down, and that was a new experience for everybody, and they obviously, I would say, didn't get the true international experience that year. It was early March that we closed down, and they were forced to stay home with their families at home, and some of them did stay the entire duration until they were due to go back in June, simply because Canada was doing so well and their home countries were not. And again, this fall, we've opened back up. Obviously, we have 12 here with us this semester, and we're trying to give them the best possible experience that we can. We're masked full time, which I think coming from a different country, different culture, different language poses a difficulty for international students here right now. If they can't see faces, it's really hard for them with the language barrier. But many of them are pushing through that. They're part of our extracurricular clubs, sports and groups. They're meeting new friends here and working really hard in class to try to learn our language and learn our culture. And so hopefully, we're on the rise back to some more normal, and those numbers will continue to grow back to hopefully 28, at some point in the run of a year. But we're working through it, making it work, and hoping that those students are having a good experience here with us, despite the restrictions and some of the changes with COVID.
We loved learning about this awesome program and the students it has brought to our town. The amount of opportunities available to our St. Stephen High School students is great to see.
Now let's go see what can come next for our Spartans with post-secondary options.
Thank you, Emily and Kate, for informing us about our international students.
We're very lucky in Canada because we have a lot of post-secondary and educational options that we can choose from.
This could be a very stressful time for our grads due to the fact that we have to start deciding what to do with ourselves after high school. Hopefully we can help out and walk you through the process of starting to apply to schools or deciding to go into work after high school.
When talking about post-secondary education, the first thing that usually comes to students' minds is either university or college. But in reality, there's a lot more options than that. Of course, the most popular forms of post-secondary education are the aforementioned universities and colleges. However, there's other options, like entering the workforce directly, joining the military, taking a year off to travel, or many other forms of post-secondary education.
There are many post-secondary options in New Brunswick for our students to choose from, like UNB, NBCC, STU, Mount Allison, and many more.
Now that we're well into the school year, students have started applying to their programs and schools of their choice.
There are a myriad of opportunities for students staying in the province after high school. Mr. McKnight has all the information on that.
Hi, I'm Stephen McKnight, and I am the Workroom Coordinator for Charlotte County, and my office is based at St. Stephen High School. After graduation, students generally are told that they have 6 pathways, the 6 destinations. So many students will look at going to university. That is one destination after you graduate high school. Other students may look at what's called a community college. So a community college would be NBCC here in the province of New Brunswick. Prince Edward Island has Holland College. Nova Scotia has Nova Scotia Community College. There are also private training schools which are the equivalent of a college. You get a diploma, same as you would at NBCC. Many of you will have heard of some private training schools. Those colleges would include Olton College, Eastern College, Atlantic Business College. So those are 3 of the pathways. But there are also some that we don't talk a lot about. One of those is apprenticeship, where you go and work with someone in the trades. There are over 50 different trades in New Brunswick that you can apprentice in. And what you do is you get up and you go to work every day and learn on the job. Then there is enlisting in the military. That is one of the 6 options, and for some students it is the right option. You earn a paycheck, and after you're through basic training, they ask you, what do you want to learn how to do? And we've had students who actually went to dental school, went to flight school, and had that completely paid for while they earned a paycheck in the military. The catch is you have to give them time. And then the 6th destination is often direct to work. So I graduate grade 12 and I'm ready to move on with my life. I don't go to a post-secondary institution and I'm heading directly to work. The workroom helps students with choosing the right path for them. And that's what I spend a lot of my time doing. I certainly deal with a lot of questions of students about money issues. Every year, I will have a student break down in my office crying and saying, I want to go to university, but I can't afford to. So one thing that I find is that I spend a lot of time educating about scholarship opportunities, what a student loan really means, all the different expenses that you have to take into account. Am I going to stay on campus? Am I going to get an apartment? What is my financials going to look like as I work post-secondary? It's not like coming to high school. It is you have to pay for books, you have to pay for, could be safety equipment. There's a number of things that you have to take into account, and that's one thing that I deal with a lot. You need to, while you're in high school, experience as much as you can. I know that it is hard being a student and working, but if you at least have a summer job, and many of you will try part-time jobs while you're in school, and also, even though in this day and age it's difficult to volunteer, take time to find some different volunteer experiences so that you are out of the school, out of your own home, and experiencing different situations while you're in high school, and it makes for such a well-rounded post-secondary student.
Of course, there are many options outside of New Brunswick. Many of our students end up applying for schools all over Atlantic Canada, and even some schools in Ontario and Quebec. The application process is simple. Go to the school website of your choice and then find the Apply button. Then fill out any and all information the school requires to accept your application. Then they will await your transcript. More on the application process with Ms. Waycott.
So it really starts in grade 10. In the spring of grade 10, for students, they pick their courses in grade 11, and then they also can pick their courses in the spring of grade 11 for grade 12. So it really starts all in grade 10. And then once they get to their courses that they pick in grade 10 and 11, then in grade 12 in their grad year, I sit down with them and I have a grade 12 interview, go through their transcript, make sure they have all of their compulsory courses that they need for a high school diploma, but then make sure they have their prerequisites and kind of figure out what they would like to do for the future in post-secondary. Then we also have Post-Secondary Expo. It was virtual this year and last year, but normally what it is universities come from across Canada and we set up in the gym, and it gives students an opportunity to visit and check out different types of post-secondary institutions across Canada and even in the United States. And then we have some virtual presentations as well that the students can sign up for and attend. Well, we have our grad teams page where I post, and a couple other teachers at the school, they post updates for the graduates. So I would post information on upcoming virtual events for universities, scholarships, what else? Any university reps visiting, view books over here on this wall from different universities. They send their view books for the upcoming year. And then I have daily announcements on the announcements as well. So leading from our grads team page, so I do post some scholarships there, but we also have, SSHS has their own Weebly website for local scholarships. That begins to get updated in the spring, and students can access that and check to see the deadlines and the criteria for the different scholarships that they wish to apply for. Prior to that all getting updated, we do have a grad class meeting in the theater, and I go through the website, show them how to navigate it. Number one is perseverance. So applying for scholarships and applying for school, it is kind of a lengthy process, but those who persevere, when things get tough, they definitely will be rewarded in the end. And even once they get to school or university or after high school and things become tough, perseverance is definitely my favorite word, and it's definitely something that I think is really key to have.
Post-secondary institutions open up a vast amount of opportunity in the world of work after you complete your education.
Having the chance to start your career early saves you from going into debt, and you'll have seniority sooner. All of our students who end up at university don't decide to do so right after high school. Instead, some decide to take a gap year. For those that decide to take a year off of academic pursuits, the long-term benefits can be appealing.
Not all university students go right after high school. Some take what's called a gap year. If you look at some of the long-term benefits of a gap year, it can be quite appealing. Statistics show that students who took a gap year had 23% higher average than students who went straight into university. 60% of students said that they took their academics more seriously after taking a gap year. 60% of students realized their major and career decisions after taking a gap year, and 90% of students who took a gap year went right back into school. 88% of students said that taking a gap year added to their employability. In Switzerland, students are encouraged to take a year off, and now we can see why.
So whatever path you choose, for whatever reason, we can only hope that you'll be the type of person who brings solutions instead of problems, and looks to build others up and always bring your best.
Thank you so much to Eve and Nathan for giving us some info on post-secondary planning.
As you go into post-secondary schools, you can experience lots of parties. You can easily be unsafe there, so we're here today to teach you how to be safe at parties.
Drugs are not good for your physical health. They make it a lot harder for you to exercise. We're gonna go talk to Mr. Harris about the effects of drugs on your physical health. Let's go.
Hi, my name's Adam Harris. I am the Vice Principal at St. Stephen High School, and my role here is to work with students in a disciplined manner, and I also am in charge of all extracurricular activities here at St. Stephen High School, and work closely with coaches and outside agencies to ensure our students are fulfilling all their obligations and help students as they need. All current research clearly indicates as youth with growing and developing brains, the use of alcohol, drugs, vapes, all have a dramatic impact on student health. One of the biggest things that we look at, especially with youth, is the frontal lobe is still developing, and drugs such as marijuana can have a devastating effect on the brain development. So we strongly encourage students to not participate in drug use. One of the current trends that we see our kids using is e-cigarettes, vapes. They have also shown that there is a significant health impact on students who are using e-cigarettes, especially young athletes. Popcorn lung, cardiovascular issues, all of these things are popping up, and we're seeing more and more youth have these issues, which drastically impacts how they can perform athletically, and even non-athletic kids are seeing a significant increase in their struggles with breathing, struggles with being able to do anything physical. So, you know, there's two real quick things and important things that, you know, it should be a deterrent for youth using substances that are not healthy. You'll see the kids who are vaping and their endurance is no longer there, the struggles breathing, and it's all attributed to the fact that they're vaping on a regular basis, and it does have dramatic impacts. So, you know, my concern for our youth is that they're not seeing the long-term impacts of what drug and alcohol use can have on them.
Never leave a party with anyone you don't trust. Before going out, make sure you plan who the sober driver is and make sure that you have a plan B just in case they do drink.
Always go to a party with a group of friends. And remember, never leave a friend behind. Remember, always be careful and aware of your surroundings when going to a party.
Never take drinks from strangers and never take your eye off your drink. If you need to leave your drink, make sure you keep it with a trusted friend.
Always pour your own drinks and never share your drinks with anyone. Just bring your own.
Don't get into a verbal argument. It may lead to a physical one. If someone aggressively confronts you, just walk away.
When you're at a party, be aware of what you're consuming. Mixing substances like drugs and alcohol can be very dangerous and put you in extreme danger for overdose.
The depressant effects of alcohol can mask the effects of stimulative drugs. We are going to go to Miss McKnight, a psychology teacher, to talk about the effects substances have on you.
My name is Krista McKnight and I teach English and psychology. I never think it's in the best interest of anybody to use substances. However, I know that just because it's not in their best interest does not mean people will not experiment. Particularly teenagers, frontal lobes are not fully engaged and decision making is impaired. Poor impulse control and poor decision making accompanies that. Well, I guess as a teacher for the last 2 decades, I've witnessed, lots of students transition from not using substances to using substances in high school. And I've also had students come to me who were fully versed in using substances. My observations of them is that their learning, their attention spans, their dedication to their studies, their motivation, all suffer as a result of their substance use and abuse.
We hope you take something from this segment and stay safe at parties, whether you're a teenager or an adult.
This concludes our episode of Spartan TV. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember, stay safe.